Welcome to the Bush War, friends. We are going to be attacking here a possible Cuban position. It could also just be a standard MPLA position. But what I'm going to do here a little bit differently than in the other attacks here in the Bush War is I'm actually going to send my UNITA and South African infantry forward. I think these are actually mostly UNITA troops. And I'm going to follow up with our South African Mechanized Corps. I've put them all the way on the right, the Rattels, a few other different vehicles there. And what we're going to do is advance with our infantry here. Not with all our infantry, just with a few. In fact, I'm actually going to push them up as far as possible right there. So Arnaldo will be here. But of course, the main attack, we want to try and go this way. So I'm going to go ahead, grab the infantry, and start approaching that way, actually. We're just going to go ahead, order a general movement here once the actual battle commences. And if we need to send reinforcements, if we need to send some armor, mechanized units, then we'll be able to respond appropriately. So we are crossing open territory here. I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but I think this is the right way to avoid our armor just getting vaporized right away. That's not going to do anybody any favors. So let's head over here, start heading towards the actual possible enemy base location, and we're going to take our mechanized unit and just prepare to respond when we need to. I might actually start moving them forward a little bit. I won't get them forward too much, but I can already start seeing some enemy smoke over here. We've definitely got a fight on our hands today. We better get prepared. I'm just going to go ahead and slowly proceed forward here. Moving by column even, just so that we can reach the location sooner rather than later. Wish us the best of luck as we head into combat against Angola. Contact has been established. I'm already spotting enemies over here. We need to get on target right away, and some of our vehicles are doing just that. Let's go ahead and get Pidov here. Is it Pidov? I think would be the appropriate Boer pronunciation. Afrikaans, I'm not sure. Same with this guy. We want to go ahead, and it looks like fire has begun for sure. They've seen us, we've seen them. Now we need to respond, of course. And interestingly enough here, we are actually facing them first with our South African Mechanized Brigade. I thought we'd get some rest. No way. The South African Mechanized Brigade are right on the battlefield, immediately responding here. We've taken out that first vehicle pretty easily, which is good news. But of course, we've got an entire group of what I would guess are actually Cuban vehicles here in the distance that we've got to try to take out. We've also actually got some anti-tank weapons here, so I am going to select these guys, and we might be able to get some RPG shots from this distance. Not sure how effective they'll be. Keep it up, keep it up, keep it up. At this point, it really is just a mechanized battle all the way through. I've got my guys, I think, set up where I want them. This guy may have gone actually a little bit too far. But we'll set him up right here and just have him target those enemy vehicles. Again, at this distance, I'm not sure just how much damage he can actually do. These guys can actually do. So we might want to try and get a little bit closer, at least with some of our vehicles here. Try to get them over there in the bush. And hopefully we get a little defensive bonus. That's what I'm going for, guys. Here we go, pushing forward. Still don't see any RPGs being launched from this side. I'm not sure I expect many to be launched, honestly. Deepenar. Come on, boys. Got a few infantry units that just got out of that vehicle. I hope that's not a vehicle being abandoned. And no, I don't think it is. But he is quite suppressed. Let's see the Rattle 20. No, actually the crew may have gotten out there. A little bit of terror from our men there in the front lines. Come on, boys. Stop right there. Hopefully we can go ahead. Oh my goodness, why do they always have to turn like this? Let's just try to turn him forward. And his gun should be sufficient to take out a few of these enemy vehicles approaching here. Come on, baby. Come on. We can do it. We've at least got him aimed in the right direction. That's a start. Alright, that's one vehicle, I think, potentially on fire. I definitely see some burning over there. It could just be actually from our rounds, though. Oh boy, we've got enemy artillery. There we go. That's an RPG. Oh, just barely missing the enemy. It may also have been a tow missile. I'm not sure which. But they're definitely trying to hit us over here with smoke. There's another one. Hit him, but I think we just kind of hit him on the side over there. I don't think that's going to really bother the enemy too much. What we need to do is get these infantry units closer so that we can fire RPGs. Look at all the men engaging here. Look at that, guys. That is amazing. Lighting them up here. We've got all fire on that actual APC. We might be able to actually get them to evac that thing just from continuous fire. I've done it before. Could certainly do it again. But over here, we are being overrun by enemy vehicles. Gotta do something about it. I hope Pedov and his friends are capable of doing that. But of course, they are bombarding this area completely. They want to make sure we have no chance whatsoever in this area. What was that last guy doing, by the way? What in the world was he doing? Was he just mindlessly retreating from the fight? Get back. Plenty of actual MPLA infantry also dismounting from those APCs. And as you can see, we did get a few of them. So it looks like the RPG did strike true. I just was kind of hoping it would do a little bit better. A few other vehicles here, but these are from previous battles. We actually still have some infantry back here that I didn't realize. Let's grab them. So it's Hendrik. And we're going to just fast move Hendrik up to the front line. It's hard to see how we can fight this one out. Except, of course, just prepare for the enemy vehicles here. They've dropped so much artillery on that area, and you can just imagine the terror of our infantry here as they look over to the east and see all of that just smoke rising up from targets hit by Artie. They know they're next, but our boys are putting up a great fight here against the approaching MPLA. As you can see, we've got Soviet weapons too, so we can also do an okay job here, hopefully stopping them. You guys bounding here away from the front lines. Probably not a bad idea. I also see a smoking vehicle, and sure enough, that's one of the enemy vehicles we torched. I think, again, the only reason that one went down was we shot it so many damn times, they grew terrified and abandoned their vehicle. Something else I didn't notice is the enemy with their anti-tank gun over here. That's definitely not good. Cuidado, so that means careful in Portuguese. It's pretty amazing that they have these VOs. Guys. What are you doing? Come on. See if we can catch that last one. He's mostly focused on the infantry. There's also a lot of officers in there. So I can understand. Why he wants to do that. Oh my goodness. Massive hit on our vehicle there. Did you guys see that? Just absolutely incredible. Was that potentially an enemy vehicle? Wait a minute. I think that was an enemy vehicle. It certainly was. Never mind. Thank goodness. So that right there, blasting right through the side of the thing. Yeah, that is absolutely a Soviet APC. And it looks like the second one and third one are also in jeopardy here. I don't see a unit marker popping up from them. Did we destroy them? I think we may have, guys. We may have just killed that crew, which would be incredible. Looks like crews are abandoning these vehicles. Really decent, really decent. The problem is the MPLA has so many units. That guy's ours. The MPLA has so many units here that it's going to be quite difficult for us to make much of a difference and stop them. Though so far, this has been amazing. Make sure to hit that like button and comment if you've liked this so far. Very important to do both those things to move us up in the rankings, guys. Let's show other people what graviteam tactics is about here. I want to see how their infantry is doing. Are they struggling? Are they doing all right? They're pretty much running out in the open. Some of them, oh, never mind. A few of them getting hit here. So our boys are doing a good job at firing, but as you can see, they still have some RPGs, etc. They can deal serious damage to our tanks, and of course, we've got additional enemy infantry approaching from the west over there. So I'm going to have this unit, actually, just going to have them engage, pretty much get stuck in with that approaching enemy infantry. Sort of let them know we're aware of them so they're not just advancing willy-nilly on our position. Why do you keep doing this? Go back. Got a few cowards on our side. Amazing. So that's just incredible that the enemy abandoned that vehicle. I mean, maybe after they saw what happened to this guy, they were like, you know what, maybe we should get out of here. That's not looking good. Alright, beautiful. Keep up the fire, keep up the fire. Dipena is still here, but unfortunately, looks like that group is hit. We see the Galil rifles on the ground. And of course, they also made us evac this APC. We did not get out of this without serious hits. The rattle, the few rattles we had, most of them, not all of them, but most of them were abandoned instead of being outright destroyed. Oh, we've got Katyushas. Well, the Cubans have officially arrived, guys. That is never good. And those might just be free-fire missiles, although they're firing them very well on our infantry here. And I think even at this distance, we should try to engage some enemy, although it looks like the distance is a bit too great. But they are absolutely firing Katyushas at our infantry. The MPLA and their Cuban allies will stop at nothing to put our boys down. Enemy's asking for a ceasefire, and I have to admit that with those approaching rocket strikes, I am really tempted to take that ceasefire, but I'd love to get additional enemy APC kills. Right now, we could actually have a barbecue on the back of this enemy APC, and we've still got a few Rattels alive. I'd like to keep them alive as long as possible, and in the meantime, try and damage enemy equipment here. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. That looked like a head-on hit. Is it enough to stop the enemy vehicle? He is trying to accelerate in place, so maybe some concussions going on in that vehicle right now. Or maybe we also jammed the steering mechanism, you never know. Also, we've got these units over here still. Look at that. Look at that placement. Just awesome. Especially with the bushes. I think I might fight it out for a little while longer, boys. Especially with all these officers in the way. Still so many enemy APCs, which is why I'm kind of pleased with that ceasefire. At the same time, you know, just tempted to continue the fight. Look at that rattle. You can actually see that is so creepy. So the plexiglass defense for the rattle on this one that is abandoned, you can just see it's been peppered with bullets. It's usually enough to defend unless it's like a head-on high explosive hit. But just imagine what it would be like inside that vehicle, seeing those hits come at you. You know the enemy is desperate to just kill you under any circumstances. One of those vehicles is just exposing his rear. I'm gonna actually target him. Doesn't look like the enemy has much in the ways of artillery anymore. I mean, they fired that Katyusha barrage. That seems to be all they've had. We've also got to worry about our MPLA boys over here, undergoing some pretty serious attacks by these, excuse me, our UNITA boys over here, undergoing some serious attacks by these UNITA troops, and how could they not? Look at that thing. I think that's a grenade launcher. Yes, it is. It is a grenade launcher. They're firing it directly at our infantry hiding over here. So that is a problem. We've got to try and hit that grenade launcher before they even approach. And again, while I still have a few rattles, I'm tempted to just continue the fight. This boy is pretty badly damaged. We'll try to push him forward as well. That was the one shot, and it looks like, yeah, they're abandoning the vehicle. I can't even blame them. They didn't take any hits. Just the terror of combat here, the terror of the front line, led our men to retreat. And we actually had 2 South African men surrender to the MPLA. That's not what we wanted to see at all. Definitely looks like this particular section, the mechanized section, has broken down a bit. We still have some Rattles back here, and we could push them forward. But I think we should probably keep our distance and accept that ceasefire opportunity while we still can, before the enemy changes his mind. Hopefully save some of our lives, regroup, and come back to face the MPLA again. I still think they completely outnumbered us, and we're still going to do quite a bit of damage to them, but we may have taken a lot of damage in return. In any case, guys, let me know what you thought of this in the comments down below. Be sure to hit that like button, and just let us know if you want to see more, etc. I would love to do some more of this Bush War. It is a lot of fun in the Graviteam Tactics Mius Front repertoire. And there we go. It is a minor victory. I'll take it. We actually took 23 killed. They only had 15 killed. We had 85 heavily wounded. They only had 64 heavily wounded. And actually, we had slightly more vehicles totally destroyed. But it looks like, at the end of the day, we essentially held our position. We may have gained a tiny bit of ground. It was a complete loss here, according to the values. But we actually managed a minor victory just because we damaged that MPLA force, and that's kind of their only offensive force currently in the area. So if we can get in a few more Rattles, or specifically some Oliphant tanks, we will turn these guys to dust. See you in the next battle, boys. You know what to do.